Hello and welcome to another week of Jurassic World Live Battle Breakdowns. We've got a couple team updates to go over, so let's get right to it. So, our team only has 2 updates. Briganith now has 3 health boosts and 2 attack boosts, and Remicanis is now level 27. With those changes covered, let's get to these battles. Right, so here we are for our first battle. Now I'm going to admit now, I'm not going to talk about the actual battle that much while playing this match, because I'm going to be honest, despite getting a pretty decent team, you know, Amprex, Spyros, this guy did just have better creatures. It's also really loud on my end, so I'm just going to turn that down. So due to this guy having way better creatures than I do, I'm just going to talk about what I've been kind of doing during these weeks and why most of the videos have just been Jurassic World Live, because I feel like I need to do more stuff with this channel recently, but I'm just doing Jurassic World Live, which isn't bad. I enjoy doing Jurassic World Live videos like these ones. They're quite easy to edit and really got me back into big style editing, just like my FNAF video did, because that video, really proud of that one. I was really happy with how it turned out. Anyway, so I have been doing stuff behind the scenes. I've gotten to 1020 mode on FNAF 2. I didn't bother finishing it yet because I'm gonna be honest, I'm just not finding it that fun at the moment, because it is just generally a bit of a difficult fight. Also, if I'm yawning or if I'm like sniffling during this, it's because I've got a bit of bad hay fever at the moment, so I'm not really that good off at the moment with that stuff covered. I have been trying to play a little bit of Deltarune Chapter 3, because I do want to make a video on either that or Chapter 4, or do them in the same video. We're either going to have one super length, or we're going to have 2 probably 2-hour plus videos, and that's going to be really fun to edit, because I'm going to have to make my gameplay seem interesting, and I'm actually going to have to bother talking the characters through, because I've got my voice for the TV guy, which I'm not going to spoil too much. This Jurassic World Live video, if you haven't seen Chapter 3 yet, you might have just heard me snapping. That's when I run out of what words I want to say. Sometimes it does just happen that I just forget what I want to do, but I've just not had the time recently, unfortunately, to play through much of anything, because I have been very busy with life at the moment. It's been very fun, but also been a bit chaotic at the moment. But yeah, that's actually all I wanted to cover. I covered that in 3 minutes. We're not even done with the fight yet. Which, to be fair, I put up a pretty good fight in this battle. It was definitely better than what it was. But unfortunately, the game is just lost the moment I swap out. Because I do swap out, there's going to be a Magnoraptor that comes in, and I do just kind of lose the match completely. Jurassic World Live's been going really well for me actually recently. We've had the new Brawl finally announced. We've got Magnoraptor in the not Magnoraptor, Megalocervia in the shop, and I did want to get Megalocervia. I don't know why I did this, by the way. I could have just let my guy go down and maybe I would have stood a better chance, but instead I just swapped, which was a massive mistake. I regret doing this. I think I could have done a little better there. Today's episode, we're not going to have many big, how I could have won kind of thing going on, because there isn't really anything I could have done for most of it. Excuse me, sorry. Yeah, there wasn't much I could have done after this point, because I just didn't have very good creatures for a Magnoraptor. If I had one of my own Magnoraptors, maybe I would have won. My speed on my Magnoraptor is higher than this guy's, so I would have lived. I think I could have probably done pretty well and killed this guy if I had my own Magnum, but it is what it is, you know. I do intend to finish FNAF 2 soon. I think I'm going to try and finish it to celebrate the fact that Secrets of the Mimic is finally out, though I'm seeing currently no videos out at the moment. That'll probably change by tomorrow, because we'll have Fusion or something just completely throw a full playthrough together in a few hours. So in comes my Greg. I'm hoping I can just finish this guy off or something, do something. This won't happen, it won't work out in the end. Especially with that crazy damage. And the fact that his Whopper 1 I think is ready here. So I give up completely here. I'm like, yeah, no, there's no way I could have won this. So we're gonna move on to the second battle. I give a little well played because I was quite happy with how I did there. He well plays back, so that was a nice interaction. So we go down, there we go. Is what is, so we're gonna move into the next battle. So here we are in Battle 2. You may realise that the audio is gone for this one, and that's just because I was at work while doing this, so you know, I go a bit in and out of having noise on because I don't really want to bother my boss. But in comes the ref. We get a very nice start. I will admit this game was thrown due to a really bad misplay on my part, and we're not going to do a whole, oh, I could have won, because it's really obvious how I could have won this fight. And I will very much have a go at myself. So I'm going to go for this Taunting Resilient Group Impact just to get rid of this guy's cleansing of damage. We're probably going to be going for the health increase next turn as well. I'm gonna be honest, even though Referendum really isn't in the meta anymore, the amount I see it down at this point in Blockwood and Aviary is crazy, you know? You see them so much more now compared to anywhere else in the arenas, which isn't a bad thing, to be fair. I don't half mind it. Almost had to yawn there for a second. Ref can be pretty hard for my team to defeat if I don't have a good counter for it, but Ref is also very swap abusable, so I'm going to bring my Thylos, because we like Thylos here. I actually really want to get this guy to level 30 if I can, because he's a really, or she, I guess, since it's Jurassic World, they're all females except for in Jurassic World Evolution 3. I'm very excited for that game. I'm not too sure whether I'm going to be able to play it though. I don't really have a good Xbox. I doubt it will release on Switch 2. If it does release on Switch 2, that's hype for me. I'm going to be playing that, and I might play it for the channel as well. But we're going to go for the Crushing Crowd. This was kind of me trying to set up for the dealer item. It doesn't really work out in the end. I'm kind of okay with that. But yeah, this dealer item was the whole reason it all just went a bit pants. And the misplay will come soon, and I will be tearing myself apart for it. But realistically, I already know the end of this battle does not go very well for me, so I'm not gonna bother yapping too much about the actual battle. What I am gonna do instead is yawn a bunch, apparently. So we get a nice little ring in for my Amprex here. I know what I can do pretty well, but again, here it is, the start of the display, if you will. So he gets his Nullifying Rampage off, does a big chunk. I get a nice little counter off. I really wish this would have killed. This was probably, yeah, 100 off, which is really sad. And I knew he had his heal move next, but what I forgot to think about was that he might go for it. Oh, I thought I'd just go for my misplay move immediately. Apparently not. I haven't made any notes for this battle, or any of the battles today, so we are going to be reliving it together, if you will. So I get a nice 2300. I love Amprex, man, it's so good. It's currently almost I think it's 100 off going for the next level. So here we go. This is where the misplay happens, and I'm really upset with myself for this one. I go for the Fierce Rampage. I don't know why I do this. I could have definitely killed using the Superiority Strike, because he's going to get his Wily Strike. I'm going to have 0 health, and I'm going to go down this next turn, and that's just me throwing the game completely, and I'm really upset with myself for this one. I could have won this match so easily if I just didn't make that misplay. I may not have killed the the Dealerizen here, but I would have at least survived the next turn, I reckon. Or at least maybe killed with a crit, but yeah, I just go down here and it all just goes, spirals from there. I'm gonna bring in my Stegotops, which, to be fair, maybe I should have brought in my Thylos. Now that I think about it, maybe Thylos should have come in, because Thylos would have either tanked the swap. Oh, actually, he just swaps for free. That's fair, understandable. He's gonna get his strike, but I think I do just one-shot this guy with a crit, which is really nice. It's either with the crit or whether it's with just these double attack boosts. This is why I love Stegotops. I really wish I had Ceratosaurus at level 25. I want to get this guy boosted up and leveled up a bit more. But yeah, there's the crit, goes through. Very nice, 10% chance. Pretty good. But as I said, this battle just goes so wrong in so many ways. I go for the stunning lacerating rampage. He gets his defensive stance off and does not kill, surprisingly. I thought he did kill, but I'm wrong. I will just say, the game told me it was immune to stun. It did not, however, tell me it was immune to bleed when I held down for the attack, which really upset me, because I was like, I'll just get some bleed off on it. I'll be fine, I'll live. But I did not live, and I'm really upset with myself. Voice break, by the way. But yeah, it all just went a bit pranks, really, here. I bring in my Greg, hoping that I can just do something. Because, Jesus, I'm not winning this for the life of me. I also know there's a lot he can do. He goes for the Blighted Impact and Run, which is going to do a fair chunk of my health to it. Surprised I didn't... Oh wait, that'd be why I didn't kill on the counter, because of dodge. But maybe I don't think I would have done that much anyway. I thought, I was like, oh, this isn't that bad, you know. I still get a fair amount of health back. I get a setup, and then Tyrannovalkyrie comes in. And that's what actually seals the game for me. This is a really long fight from what I remember. Yeah, an 8-minute long fight. This is one of the longest ones I've done in a while. I do know that Tyrannovalkyrie is quite bad against stuns. Maybe I should have gone for Skewer. Maybe I could have predicted it. Who knows? Either way, I was already ready. Yeah, there you go. I was ready for the alert squeal. I knew it wouldn't go anywhere anytime soon. I knew it would all just go downhill from here. I was like, okay, I've lost. Oh, goodness me, I seem to be tired today. Yeah, Tyrannovalkyrie's pretty good at this point in the game. Don't know if this is kind of the middle stage of the game or whether it's late stage, but either way, yeah, I could see that I was dead. I was like, oh well, it's so over, kind of thing. 262 speed. Goodness gracious me, that is a lot of speed, man. So I'm like, yep, okay, I have lost. So I'm gonna start saying let's go on to the next battle, because I close out really quickly here. So let's go on to the next one. So here we are in Battle 10, and as far as I remember, we're back in a pretty good team as well. I was going to say, as far as I remember, we're back in Aviary, but that's not something we can remember, that's something we see. So I'm going to start with my Terrastegtops. I don't know why I seem to really gravitate towards this guy as a starter. I thought I was going to lose this, I'm going to be honest, with this guy. Is pretty good starter. Alcronex, especially at level 30, I think it's a Lacronex actually. Either way, this guy at level 30, pretty good. I do get the stun there, so W for me. And I get to abuse the fact that this guy will not hit me now when I go for my move. Even then it wouldn't kill him lightly, maybe, I don't know. But we're going to swap with the impact and run. There's something that I quite like to do with Terrastegtops, good pivot creature to bring something in. In comes my very nice Spinotops, that's the word. It doesn't kill, unfortunately, but we'll be able to kill it next turn with Protective Advance. I really need to boost these guys more. I think once I start boosting my creatures up even higher, we're going to be in a very good standing within everything. Now I do have a little bit of extra speed, that's just because I like it. So in comes the enemies, which realistically I'm going to do a whole bunch for him, you know? So he gets the Prowling Cloak off, I get speed reduction. But he's not going to benefit too greatly from having the cloak there as I go for my Nullifying Resilient Rampage. These words are really hard to say when you're bunged up like I am at the moment. So I do decide just to say screw it with all and go with Laceration. Or maybe I swap. I'm going to swap, I think, actually, yes, Stylos. Because Indonemies just can't counter Fox. It's terrible against them. No matter what, it's just bad. So I do give it a dodge, but realistically, I'm saving myself more than I'm risking anything. The crit definitely would have killed, I reckon. So we get a nice buff on my dudes here. Thylos. I am very tired today, I don't know why. So if my speaking seems a bit bad, yeah, that's why. I'm not too sure what's going on with me today. Not too sure if Thylos leveled up since last week. I'm gonna keep that the way it is. I don't think I need to worry about that too much. So I forget about the cloak here anyway. I'm just going to go for that nice Rending Assault. He goes for the bait, which is fair enough, you know, do what you want. Pirate is free, you are a pirate. So I'm just going to go for the Crushing Prowl just to get this guy's chance to not just die on the next turn. So he goes for the Strike. Does go through my dodge, unfortunately. But I outspeed her, so it's fine. So we get a nice Devouring Rampage off. We take down the enemies finally with a critical hit. I think it was 100% or 90% chance it happened, so it's not that rare to happen anyway. I'm gonna check the window. But yeah, this guy takes a little bit, and then a Blighty. Now I'm gonna be honest, these first 3 battles I really hate. First battle, just because I basically had 0 chance in the first place, in my opinion. Second battle, you know, I did the stupidest misplay known to mankind. And this battle, because I just kinda almost lose to this Blighty, because I'm always expecting this guy to go for his other moves. So I'm like, okay, tell you what, let's go for Protective Advance. Or I do something. What do I do? I swap into Terrastegtops for some reason. Get the bleed off? Yes. So I get my armor up. He goes for the Cunning Rampage, which was, you know, fair play to him. I go almost down here, Jesus. I get a nice counter off, get some damage off. I'm just expecting him to go for his Evasive Hunt, because that's what people usually do with Blighty. You don't have a level 29 Blighty for no reason. But then again, now that I'm thinking back on this, he knew I had Spinotops. He's not gonna go for it, you know? He knows that I have that move, so he does go for his Precise Double Strike, so I do win. either way, but I think I could have done that in a lot less of a roundabout way. I was just very worried that its counter would just nullify my stat boost, so I would have lost here, but he doesn't for some reason. I get a nice brute ferocious charge off, take it down, and we're going to go on to the next fight very quickly here. So here we are, battle 4 now. Yes, 4. Got a nice team here, probably my favourites in my group at the moment, because my Magna is really strong, good attacker. Spinotops is Spinotops, you can't beat it right now. It is a very, very big creature in the meta. I wish I had a Traumatistus, but I am working on it. I'm getting very slowly. Getting red DNA is not easy, and I haven't really bothered going for a Trosomoloch yet. So in comes a Rexy. This guy's actually kind of annoying. From what I remember, this guy just spammed a bunch of moves. Not moves. Emotes. That's it. So he does get a crit, and I'm like, oh well, that's buggered me a little bit because I'm barely gonna survive if he on the swap out. So if he gets a crit, I'm gonna die. And I'm really hoping he doesn't get a crit here. So I'm gonna swap, and we're gonna see, I think, the first emote. Yep. Because he's like, ha 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 ha. But we are going to, unfortunately, lose Amprex to crit there, and in comes a Magnoraptor, which is a brilliant Rexy counter. And I'm gonna be honest, I was very happy when I beat this guy. So he's like, oh, angry, I lost my Rexy, my trump card, oh no, we're gonna bring in Delorizon. It's like, oh, not a Delorizon, please. So I'm gonna go for my Dominant Pounce, get a big chunk of damage off. I think he goes for the heal hit though, I'm pretty sure from memory. Which is fair enough to him, yeah, group vitalize. Not too bad for him, you know, he's good. Does now outspeed me no matter what. I'm like, okay, let's see what my rending move does to him. He's like, you don't get to kill me, oh. But I definitely don't. I would kill with crit, I reckon. So he's like, angry again because he's getting a bunch of damage loss. I'm like, do I die here? And I go, no, because I do not die here, luckily. So I'm like, okay, let's switch. Who do I want to bring in? I'm going to bring in my Rem because I don't get to use a Rem that much. So he goes like the finger wag again, not too sure why. Maybe he was predicting me to stay in, but why would I do that when my entire team is based off swap-ins? Not even kidding. This Rem has a swap-in, Magna has a swap-in, Amprex has a swap-in, Cerastatops has a swap-in, Blimmin' Spinotops has a swap-in, Pylops has a swap-in. I don't... Grig kind of has a swap-in, but it doesn't really do that much for him in the long run. Again, sorry for the genuinely awful sound of my voice at the moment. I am so unbearably sniffly at the moment. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I don't actually remember what I do here. I assume I go for my Rampage, because that makes sense, it heals me up. I can't swap out, so swap out. Good chunk of damage. I've been really enjoying making these videos actually, they've been really fun to make. It's just been really interesting to have a different sort of making content, because this is the first time I've done content kind of like this. And I'm really enjoying it, to be honest. So we're going to go for Chief's Mockery, which just allows me to live. I can just laugh in his face about the fact that I'm not going to die. So he gets the Merciless Alert, gets the Bleed, so I'll probably die in the next couple of turns anyway. If I don't just absolutely rinse him here with the Rampage. I really need to boost the Rem's attack, because it'll heal more. I can't speak today. I think I'm going to probably end up going for max attack and the rest in health. Because I'm going to deal a bunch more damage. And the Rem's already pretty tanky as is. So I think I'm gonna lose my Rem here. He gives the thumbs up again. And then forces a squeal, which is great, but he plays himself a bit here because he wasn't threatened when he did it. So he has a 100% chance to go, not go through dodge this, so I think he does just outplay himself completely. Yeah, again, nice lucky crit there as well. I think that crit mattered. So I go to hit the well played, but let's get on to the next battle. So here we are, Battle 5, and you may notice we are now in not aviary, library again. Purely because the actual Battle 5 got deleted. I really didn't like that fight for some reason. Or no. Either that I deleted it, or no, I forgot to record it. That's what happened. Yes, now I remember. I just forgot to record. I was really annoyed about it as well. But we fight against a Morton at the start here. I've got my Grig. I'm gonna try and not die here. Hoping that you won't get crit. But he doesn't, and I'm like, oh yeah, he's just gonna go for his rampage here, isn't he? But that wouldn't kill either way, so maybe I would have. We're gonna get a nice big chunk of damage, unfortunately, off on the Grig. The Grig's gonna take down 3,270 damage. That's insane. I really wish my Grig was bulkier. I am working on boosting this guy. In comes a 4x, and this guy used to be crazy at the time. I remember back in the day. This thing used to be the bane of everyone's existence because it would swap in and take a hit, and it used to be like non-in, I think, actually, now that I think about it. So Arem's basically the perfect counter. Slothful Revenge is, or not Revenge, Slothful Impact is always going to get rid of bleed and reduced attack, so we kind of win, and it also removes any buffs this guy can have. Again, apologies for me being completely scatterbrained at the moment. Stuttering over my words, and I don't really know what I'm saying at the moment. This the nature of these unscripted videos. So I'm gonna go for a nice precise rampage here. Get a big chunk of damage. I wasn't expecting it to kill, and I remembered that of course it was vulnerable from my previous hit, which means it went down almost instantly. So I'm like, okay, let's go for the Cunning Resilience Strike here. Get a nice big hit off. He's gonna go for the group devouring impact. Get a big old rip. I'm gonna repeat down of the team because I remember that a lot. Next match should be very similar team. So this guy's gone a lot less into speed than what I did for my team back when it was on the team. I do kind of miss having my Tyrannometrodon on my team. It was really good at the time, but Grig is just better in every way. So he gets the Tyrant Roll. Luckily does not go through. I get dodge off, which is very nice. And we're just gonna remove all the stat buffs, so get and then we're gonna finish off. These battles are very nice and quick, so we're gonna get this guy's teammate out. We're gonna get on to the next one. Hopefully soon and later, once this guy times through. Here we go, we're gonna take it out, guys. Isn't this crazy? Whoa! Okay, so let's get on to the next battle, shall we? So here we are, battle 6. I'm pretty sure I had a very similar team to last time, basically the same team. Well, maybe actually. No, we had Magda and Sarah last time. I thought we had like the same team for 2 battles in a row. Apparently not. Maybe I'm crazy. So Pincatosaurus coming in. I'm expecting it to go for the Nullifying Group Impact as well. Well, I would do. But obviously I haven't gone for Maximum Ferocity, so I've forced him to waste that move. He gets a big hit off on me there. I wanted to get Pincatosaur once upon a time, but I didn't really see it fitting in my team. Maybe it could replace Tyrannometrodon, or not Tyrannometrodon, T-Deck. but they feel very different actions. They do different things in the team overall, which is kind of why I enjoy it, but made sure 9 to not bother getting it. So we get some nice help on maximum ferocity. Get a nice front. So I thought he was actually gonna remove his bleed for this turn, because as you can see it almost kills it. I kind of wish it did. That would be cool to get a kill from bleed for once. So he's going to go for that cleansing group shield. He should have done that from the start realistically, and then maybe I would have gone my rampage move and wasted it, but I did not. So he killed with the render. I was kind of surprised, but maybe that's due to the attack buff, so I'm going to heal a big chunk. I thought I was going to heal 3000 hit. But for some reason it ran out and didn't, so I'm not too sure why it did that. But it's what it is, isn't it? Will I swap it? I gotta swap it, right? Surely swap into my RAM here, yeah, definitely. I'm gonna swap, live the crit. Get screwed. We get a nice bit of rend damage off. I think Rex teammate has like 15% rend resistance, or maybe that's stun, I might be wrong. So we're going to come in here with my Remicanis, get the attack drop, get the no stun, which is unfortunate. We get 2400 damage in. This is also why I kind of want this guy to be way better than he is. I think I get keep my stun and my cloak here as well, which is nice. We're go for Slothful Revenge. He goes for the Decimating Hunger and gets the crit, but does not go through the dodge, which is always nice. I do feel that I'm getting worth so much today, man. I feel so bad. But my Ren is just way better. And I remember it being half the time. I don't even know why I was saying that. I think I just said something completely off the lines of something else. But I just go for my nullify and not thinking I'm gonna die, but unfortunately I do die, which sucks a little bit, doesn't it? I'm like, okay. T-Dac. Oh no, I thought I went for my T-Dac. Interesting choice by me, I'm gonna be honest. I would have gone for my T-Dac right off the bat. Well, apparently I wouldn't have. Actually, I think it's because Thylos was without spelling killed, and I was hoping I could get it set up, because Thylos, in the right situation, can just womp teams, but unfortunately in comes a Dealerism, which, yeah, kind of scary. So I bring in my Greek here, because I'm not going to get punished too bad if I do go for my Greek. I get no stun, because it's unfortunately stun resistant, but I do get my health back, which is always fun. There he goes for the Cunning Strike. I genuinely don't remember why I end up using my T-Dac here. On the bright side, big chunk of damage from the rend here. So I go for my maximum for, because maximum velocity is just the best option that I could have done here to make sure that I survived. He goes for a Cunning Rampage, which does unfortunately cut down my attack again. As you can see, I'm really expecting the damage here. I was hoping it would heal something that wasn't. Will get rid of my attack nerf, but it doesn't. So we get 2500 damage off and a bit of Devour, which doesn't really help that much, let's be honest. If I'm thinking about what I do here, I think I do end up swapping, because I was expecting a heal. As you can see, I'm very much debating it, because I know Grig's going to go down no matter what, and Grig can be very useful. Oh, Thylos. Interesting choice past me. 1500 damage, 1500 damage. I feel like this is why the battle went on for another 2 minutes. These battles are like the longest I've ever had. You can tell because I'm struggling to actually talk for the whole 8 minutes. maybe I couldn't have. You're gonna hear my chair moving a little bit because then you didn't get me do that. I'm like, okay, what do I do? Oh, voice right there. So I go for Crushing Growl. Not really too sure why, because Disperse Cunning Strike removes my attack buffs. Crit buffs. I'm not too sure why I did that. But, you know, Rend would have killed, which I should have gone for from the start. That would have ended this fight a lot quicker, but is what it is, you know. Yeah, good 1400 damage off on DLRM. Fortunately get down to the last Thylos as well. I'm like, okay, guess I'm losing Thylos here. And then comes T-Dak. Again, I'm not too sure what was going on with me when I recorded this, because I just didn't do very good decisions. I could have very easily ended the match there and then. With Thylos, with the dual rending, and for some reason I go for Crushing Growl instead. I'm not too sure why. Yeah, this T-Dak is always my answer to tanky DLRX. Because they can't really do anything against the nerfs that this guy gives out. I also do want to level this guy up to level 26 at some point. He's doing, what, 4,000 damage on this superiority rampage and 3,000 on the impact moves. They are impact moves. They do the same as impact moves. So down goes the alright, we get a lucky crit. I'm gonna stop rambling. Let's go on to the next video because I'm just yapping today. So here we are, our final battle for today. We've got a pretty nice team. I think this is a very good spread. That's kind of a spread that you want. Something, 2 creatures with a bit of tankiness, and then 2 kind of massive hitters. So nice little Gemini just come in. You don't see this very much up in the higher leagues, so having it down here is kind of fun. So we're going to get the big hits off that I need to. You're probably hearing a bit of background sound from me doing that, so I probably shouldn't do that when I'm trying to record. So I'm like, alright, what can I do here that's going to basically guarantee a kill? I decide to go for my Rampage, hoping that I'd be able to do something to this guy to kill him. And as you can see, silent mode comes on because I think something came up at work. Not going to say what it is, because it's unimportant. We barely live there. Get a bit of Devour heal, and then I think I heal. Oh no, I swap. Magna swap. Always gotta love a good Magna swap. Magna is just a peak creature. I kinda am sad that it's starting to get phased out in meta recently. It's gone from like high Tyrant to mid Tyrant, I reckon. I reckon that's just because the Tromalistus is in the game now. That's kind of replaced it. So in comes a Schooner Mat. And honestly, again, Schooner Mat, pretty cool creature, but just not that good anymore. So we're going to lower its attack a fair amount. I think like a 50% reduction, so this impact barely doesn't kill. Well, no, I say barely doesn't kill. I don't think, what, 1,000 damage left is barely. So we're going to go for Block of 1 just to heal myself up. I was kind of hoping that I'd be able to kill with this move, but I don't. Interestingly enough, Alert Defense comes out, which doesn't really do a whole bunch for him, I'm going to be honest. But it is what it is, as we're going to go for Magna Impact just to remove all these stat buffs it's just given itself. It heals. But we just nullified the nullification anyway, so it's fine. bring it down to 3000. This Magna, honestly, the moment I get up to level 30, get to the E's, it's gonna be peak. It's gonna be so much better. I just have no irritated DNA right now. But I don't do PvP outside of this, and I need to get back on it. But I'm lazy, so take that as you will. So in comes Catalog. Pretty scary dude, honestly. Or dudette in this game. So we're gonna go Flock of One just to let Magna live a bit longer. I mean, so he gets a big chunk off me there. Then comes the Sowing Impact, which unfortunately takes down my Magna, but does open up Catalog for some pretty easy wins on my part, as I'm debating who to bring in, and I bring in Thylos Intrepidus, because this guy is just my answer to a Catalog. If I can kill it with dual running, I'm going to do that. So we are going to finish off this fight. I can hear dogs in the background. I hope that's not picking up on the mic. I'm like, oh, this guy has done a thing. He has healed. I don't get a crit here, unfortunately, with that first one. I think I would have killed if I got 2 crits in a row, but is what it is. Down goes the Thylos. I go for the wound because I didn't think I'd live this turn. I thought I was going to get stunned, killed, which I do get, unfortunately knocked out. So we're back down to using Grig, because Grig is always my answer to a last minute, just, oh, somebody help. He swaps, interestingly. I thought we were going to finish off with the Concatalog. We've still got a minute left of the fight. So in comes a Burst Servia. Pretty cool, I don't see this much anymore. I saw it a couple of times back in Main Street, I want to say. You don't see it much anymore, which is sad, because this thing used to be a menace to society along with Parasorthops. But it got a very deserved hybrid. Unfortunately, that hybrid was bad until now, where it's gotten really good buffs and everything, so that's fun. So I think I go for the max ferocity here, just to ensure that I don't die. Also to apply some bleed, because bleed is always helpful, but he goes for the precise revenge. I get my counter off, leaves it with 13 health, and it goes down to the bleed and we win the match. So let's get on to the outro. So that's all the battles for this video. As always, if you made it this far, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.